Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo, and today we're doing a little bit more Destiny. We're actually going to talk about why I think you should play in the Iron Banner. Of course, kind of got to preface the whole thing by saying if you don't like PvP, obviously this discussion it's not really aimed at you. I'm not trying to tell people who don't like PvP that they should come play in the Iron Banner, because that's probably the worst way to experience any sort of PvP in Destiny. I'm a huge fan of the PvP in Destiny. I don't think it's perfect, but I think it does a lot of things that make it a lot of fun. I've talked about this before. I think diversity amongst the different player classes as well as the different weapon classes make it a really fun experience. And when you take things into the Iron Banner, they kind of take, they take the training wheels off. Everything is just kind of like intensified, because all of your stat bonuses for your weapons and your armor are like legit. Like, nothing is balanced. So if you're level 12 and you join in the Iron Banner and there's level 34s and level 33s running around, you're probably gonna get stomped on pretty hard. So I guess this is also a discussion that is focused on people who are sort of towards endgame level. I would say anything from like 30 to 34, you're going to do alright in the Iron Banner, because a lot of that is really focused on your weapon damage. So if you have a bunch of, legendaries and exotics that are maxed out, this is kind of the place to take them. This is the battleground to be like, listen, my Matador 64 will, just run train on your Matador 64. You got no chance, man. I mean, it's gonna load on you. And there's something I really like about that. There's this really enhanced sense of like all of the different perks for the weapons really, performing at their optimal performance. And I find that to be a lot of fun. Particularly Thunderlord is one of my favorite weapons to use in the Iron Banner, because everyone's using rockets, right? For heavies, everyone just thinks rockets are like the go-to thing. But meanwhile, I'm over here with Thunderlord all like, yo, I'm gonna pick up like 16 kills right now, with just like 2 shots apiece on this thing. And it's those sort of moments that make the Iron Banner really fun. Not to mention, I have some of my closest games in terms of public matchmaking, just playing with randoms, in the Iron Banner. I feel people who enter the Iron Banner understand what it's about, and there's generally a lot of uncommunicated teamwork and just really great clutch moments. And that's kind of why I play PvP. That's why I play things like the Crucible. That's why I enjoy player versus player. I like the sort of adrenaline you get from like those really clutch, tight moments. And there's kind of a lot of opportunities for those in a game like Destiny, because you have your abilities. And as someone who plays a Titan, a Striker Titan specifically, inside of the Iron Banner, I mean, there's just some really satisfying moments where you can like pull off just stupid kills, like just capping a defense point in control like last minute using your strike to bust through another Titan's Ward of Dawn, and then just eliminating everyone inside, and then holding down with something like Matador or like the Thunderlord. It's just it puts such a huge grin on my face, and that's really why I think I urge so many people who are into PvP to go into the Iron Banner. I think a lot of people are turned away by it. They look at things like Thorn and they instantly say to themselves, I don't want to have to deal with that. And I understand Thorn can be really harsh, especially in the Iron Banner. There's nothing worse than kind of like escaping a situation with a fraction of your health and being tagged like in the leg by Thorn and then slowly dying. But if you kind of just accept that fact, and you just kind of like deal with that, and you understand that things like Last Word and a lot of the legendary weapons that you're going to be able to run are going to do, an equally devastating amount of damage, and then you play to those strengths and weaknesses, it's a really great experience. It's really fun. To take down that guy with the Thorn, to take down multiple Thorn targets with your 6th Matador, just move in close range and kind of put them at the disadvantage. Go up against someone with your Last Word, perhaps. I think there's a lot of reasons for, sort of hardened Destiny players, the people who have the gear and the equipment to go in the Iron Banner. That's really what the Iron Banner was built for. And I kind of am just trying to enhance some of the reasons that I think, it's really a standout gameplay experience. It's really unique in itself, too, because while it is all about imbalance, I feel like the Iron Banner is actually a really balanced PvP battleground. When you think about other games out there that have the same sort of PvP, which there's not many, you really have to look at like MMOs, you have to look at WoW, Rift, and Guild Wars, and games of that nature, where it's actually an RPG, where you have statistical based armor and weapons that then affect your PvP. There's very few first-person shooters doing that. Very, very few. Most of them are kind of like Halo, Call of Duty level, where, yeah, there's some statistical changes going on with the weapons, but it's nothing on the level of Destiny. It's kind of, it's a whole different ball game here. And I think that's what makes it incredibly unique, the Iron Banner. And it's also what makes a lot of those ridiculously insane, like, clutch over-the-top moments where somebody tags you with Thorn and you're hanging on by, like, just a threat of your life, and you somehow, you get health regen, you eliminate that guy who attacked you with the thorn, you take out like 4 other guys. It's just, really, there is a huge level of satisfaction to that. And I guess there's not much else to say about the Iron Banner, other than it's all of those things that I think a lot of people stay away from it for, that actually make it a really great experience. And it's basically just me right now saying, give it a chance. Obviously, anything PvP, anything that can, involve any sort of teamwork is better when played with a team. But really, playing Iron Banner alone is a lot more fun to me than playing standard Crucible alone. Control just kind of works. I think people just have a general consensus of what they need to do and where they need to do it. And making use of your supers, you can really kind of like, as an individual, alter the course of the game. You can really make some huge comebacks, and I'm like all about that. I love stuff like that. This particular gameplay clip that I'm actually showing you guys, it was a push. It was a big push for a huge comeback. I thought there was some really great moments. Specifically, I had some really great moments with Thunderlord, which subsequently was really the result of the fact that there is indeed a heavy weapon bounty running in the Iron Banner this week. There usually is, so a lot of people are trying to focus on getting those heavy weapon kills. A lot of people are using light machine guns. I think that that is something that is a weird way to look at PvP in general. I did want to kind of talk about this, how Bungie has the control to alter the types of weapons and the way that people play PvP just through the bounties. It's sort of like inadvertently, modifies the way that people play these types of experiences, because they see a bounty, they understand they have to strive for it. All of a sudden, no one's using rocket launchers, everyone's using light machine guns. That's something that happens in the Iron Banner more often than not, because that is really the only place you see the heavy machine gun spree bounty, as well as, killing enemies with heavy weapons. So a lot of good reasons to check out the Iron Banner. If you're sitting on the fence about it, you feel like it's too extreme, you've got a high-level Guardian with some decent gear, give it a try, man. I promise you, there's actually a lot of fun to be found in the Iron Banner if you can put aside the frustrations with things like the Vex and the Thorn and all the other exotics and just have a good time. I promise you, the Iron Banner is one of the best PvP experiences in any first-person shooter, bar none. If you have any questions for me or any stories you'd like to share about your experiences in the Iron Banner, feel free to share them down in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.